Hate That Cat by Sharon Creech. Jack, Room 204. Miss Stretchberry. September 12th. I hate that cat. Like a dog hates a rat. I said I hate that cat. Like a dog hates a rat. Hate to see it in the morning. Hate to see that fat, black cat. September 13th. Sorry. I didn't know you liked cats. Didn't know you have one. September 14th. More poetry? You probably think we will remember what we learned last year, right? What if we don't remember? What if our brains shrunk? What if it's too hard? But I'm glad you are my teacher again. I hope you will keep moving up a grade every year along with me. You understand my brain. September 19th. No, I can't write any more about my dog Sky. Maybe all of the words about Sky fell out of my head last year. I think about him all the time, and I see him in my mind, and some of his yellow fur is still on my yellow chair. And sometimes I think I hear him, a rum, that sound he made when he was happy. But no, I can't write about Sky anymore. Maybe I could write about a cat. A mean cat, a crazy, mean, fat, black cat. Although my Uncle Bill, who is a teacher in a college, said those words I wrote about Sky were not poems. He said they were just words coming out of my head, and that a poem has to rhyme and have regular meter and symbols and metaphors and on something and ad liter something. Well, I wanted to punch him. September 21. Another thing Uncle Bill said was that my lines should be longer, like in real writing. But here is what happens when I try to make them longer. The page is too wide, and the words get all mumble-jumbled, and it makes my eyes hurt. All that white space, the edge of the paper so far away, and in order to get all the words down that are coming out of my head, I have to forget the commas and the periods, or I have to go back and stick them all over the place like this, which looks, if you ask me, stupid. But if you write short lines, a person knows where to breathe, short or long. And I hate to read those long lines, and I don't want to write them either. September 26th. I wish you would tell my Uncle Bill all those things you said today about our own rhythms and our own images bouncing around in our words and making them poems. And yes, I understand that if I am ever the President of the United States, I might be expected to write very, very long lines, but in the meantime, I can make my lines short, if I want to. But even if you told my Uncle Bill all that stuff, he wouldn't believe you. He likes to argue. My mother likes my short lines. She runs her fingers down them and then taps her lips once, twice. And I think I understand what you said about on something and a liter something not having to be in a poem, and how sometimes they enrich a poem, but sometimes they can also make a poem sound purple. Purple! October 3rd. Okay, I will learn how to spell alliteration and onomatopoeia, right? And I will practice them just in case I ever need them to enrich something. Ready? I can't do it. Brain frozen. First you need to have something to write about. You can't just alliterate and onomatopoeiate all over the place, can you? October 10th. I felt like there were feathers in my brain when you brought out those objects and we practiced doing alliteration on them, like with the purple pickle and the polished pencil and the chocolate chalk. But the pickle was not purple, and the pencil was not polished, and the chalk was not chocolate. So my Uncle Bill would probably say we are wrong, even though it is fun to imagine a purple pickle, a polished pencil, and chocolate chalk. October 12th. Something I am wondering. If you cannot hear, do words have no sounds in your head? Do you see a silent movie? October 16th. So much depends upon a red wheelbarrow. The wheelbarrow poem again? Did you forget we read it last year? Okay, here's one. So much depends upon a creeping cat crouched in the tree beside the yellow bus stop. I bet you're going to ask me, why does so much depend upon a creeping cat, right? Remember, the wheelbarrow guy didn't say why so much depended upon the red wheelbarrow and those white chicky chickens. October 17th. Onomatopoeia made my ears frizzle today. All that buzz, 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 and pop, pop, and drip, and tinkle, and trickle. The sounds are still buzzing and popping in my head. And the bells, bells, bells in that poem you read by Mr. Poe. Is he alive? All those bells, 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 all those tinkling and jingling and swinging and ringing and rhyming and chiming and clanging and clashing and tolling and rolling, all those bells, bells, bells. And that tintinabulation, what a word, tintinabulation. I only understood about half the words in that poem, but like you said, sometimes that is okay because we felt all those bells and we heard all those bells crazily ringing in their tintinabulation. But I bet my Uncle Bill wouldn't like Mr. Poe's bell poem. My Uncle Bill would probably say that Mr. Poe represents himself too much and needs to find a synonym for bells. But I don't care. I love all those bells, bells, bells. I thought of some more onomatopoeia words. Gurgle, burble, wiggle. Are those right? And what about purr, purr, purr? And did your cat really have kittens? I don't really like creepy cats. You should get a delightful dog. October 18th. Something I am wondering. If you cannot hear what happens when you read purr, 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 or gurgle, or chocolate chalk, can you somehow feel the purr, 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 the gurgle, and the chocolate chalk? Do you feel the sounds instead of hear them? October 19th. The Yips, inspired by Mr. Edgar Allan Poe, by Jack. Hear the dogs with their yips squeaking yips. What a funny squeaking sound coming from their lips. How they ripple, ripple, ripple in the shadow of a pickle, and the yip, yippibulation through the air from the yip, 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 yip from the squeaking and the rippling of the yips. P.S. I'm not quite sure how that pickle got in there. October 22nd. If you could not hear, you wouldn't hear all those funny yip, yip, yips, but you could see the dog bouncing his head up and down, his mouth flapping, and maybe you would get the idea that he was making the same sound over and over. Maybe. But how would you even know what sound is? October 24th. I like Maggie's buzz poem you put on the board, on that orange paper, and yes, you can put my yip poem up there, and you can put my name on it too. In my head are so many bells and buzzes and yips all jingling and clanking around, bumping into each other. Very noisy in my head. If you cannot hear, it must be so quiet in your head. How are your purr kittens? I would write a purr poem, except that I don't really like C-A-T-S. November 13th. When you read that kitten poem by Miss Valerie Worth, is she alive? I could see that black kitten dancing sideways and leaping and crouching with her eyes round as oranges, and I could see that black kitten pouncing with her cactus claws on a piece of fluff. It made me laugh, that black kitten. It reminded me of my dog Sky, how he would dance around a skittering leaf as if it were alive, and he would cock his head and wag his tail and scoot backwards and then yip and pounce on the fluttery leaf. He made me laugh, that Sky. And I hate to admit it, but the kittens you brought to class were not creepy. I'm not saying I like cats. Dogs are much better. But those kittens were fantastically funny, the way they were skittering around and purring. I guess I never saw a kitten up close before. Only big, creepy cats that look like they would love to scratch you. November 20th. I told my dad about those furry kittens you brought into school, and he asked me if I would like one, and I said no, 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 no. He is coming to parent conferences tonight, and I just wanted you to know that I said no, 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 no. November 21st. Why? Because kittens grow up to be cats, and what do cats do? Do they play ball with you, or jump on you and lick your face all slobbery kissy to show you they love, love, love you? I know one fat black cat, I hate that cat, who was meaner than mean. I hate that cat. And besides, even if you had a nice cat that you loved, it might run outside and into the street and get squashed by a car going fast with many, many miles to go before it sleeps. Or it could get sick, really, really sick, and never get better. Or it could run away or get lost or end up somewhere else. I hope I did not hurt your feelings, but cats are cats and dogs are dogs. P.S. Thank you for saying nice things about me to my dad last night. He liked my yip poem up on the wall, and he likes you too. For true, I'm not just saying that to make you feel good. P.S.S. No, I cannot write about my mother. That would be impossible. November 27th. Yes, I know that all those bad things could happen to a dog, too, which is why I don't want a dog either. I already had a dog. My dog Sky. My funny, furry, smiley dog Sky. November 30th. It's strange now that when you read a poem to the class, I hear alliteration popping out everywhere. I never heard it before. Or maybe I heard the sounds, but I didn't know why they were sticking in my head. Yesterday, after you read the Eagle poem by Mr. Tennyson, is he alive? Those first two lines stuck in my head. He clasps the crag with the crooked hands close to the sun and lonely lands. And I could see that eagle all day long, clasping the crag with his crooked hands in those lonely lands, just sitting up there watching before he falls. Boom, like a thunderbolt. Does he swoop into the sea and snatch a fish? Or a little mousie on the hillside? Or a creepy cat? Sorry, just kidding. December 4th. The Dog, inspired by Mr. Tennyson, by Jack. He pats the kitten with puffy paws near the window draped with gauze, and yawns and opens up his jaws. The wrinkled rug beneath him lies. He watches his big black eyes, and like a lazy boy, he sighs. Well, at least the dog did not eat the kitten. December 6th. Those kittens of yours surprised me. They got so big, and they are so funny, especially for cats. And that black one with the white spot on her forehead, she fell asleep right in my lap, even though I didn't pet her. Well, only a tiny bit. She was purring while she slept, so I think she was happy. But don't get me wrong, a dog is still much better than a cat. December 11th. The Red-Headed Mailman, inspired by Mr. William Carlos Williams by Jack. So much depends upon a red-headed mailman walking up the drive holding a blue postcard. Did you believe the postcard I brought in? Did you believe that Mr. Walter Dean Myers, my all-time favorite poet who visited our class last year, that Mr. Walter Dean Myers himself sent me a postcard? I didn't believe it when I saw it. I sat right down on the steps and read it about 50 times. And do you believe that he mentioned his cat? His cat! I love that postcard. Love, love, love it. But I'm still a little surprised that Mr. Walter Dean Myers has a cat. I thought he would have a dashing dog or maybe a hearty horse. It's hard to picture Mr. Walter Dean Myers with a cat. December 13th. Yes, I wrote back to Mr. Walter Dean Myers. I asked him why he likes his cat so much. I asked him if he ever thought about getting a dog. December 14th. The Bad Black Cat. I was standing at the yellow bus stop, minding my own business, when I heard mew, 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 like it was coming from the sky. Mew, mew, mew. And I looked up and saw a big black cat, all fluffy fur and green eyes, crouched in the tree. Mew, mew, mew. And I thought it was stuck, and so I climbed up the tree, way up high to the skinny branches, and I leaned way out, and the bus was coming, and I leaned out farther, and I grasped the black tail of that black cat, and I was so glad I'd caught it. I was going to save it, and it would be so relieved and grateful, and the bus was coming, and that fat black cat leaped backwards onto my head, and it scratched my ears and my neck and my face, and it hissed the most awful, spitting, horrible hiss as it scratched with claws as sharp as needles, and I was bleeding all over the place, and the cat scrambled across my back and onto my legs and down the tree, where I lay there clinging to the branch, stinging and bleeding, and the bus passed right on by. I hate that cat. December 17th. Why did the man throw the cat out the window? He wanted to hear it say, meow. I made that up. I thought it was very funny, but maybe you won't like it. I will try to stop saying mean things about mean cats. December 18th. I thought you were kidding when you said that Mr. Walter Dean Myers' grown-up son Christopher had written a book called Black Cat. I felt like Mr. Walter Dean Myers' whole family must be in my brain. When you started reading the book, black cat, cousin to the concrete, creeping down our city streets, I thought it was going to be about a mean cat, like the mean black cat that attacked me. All those words were singing in my head, and I was thinking, wow, that Mr. Christopher Myers knows all about alliteration. And it turned out not to be a mean cat. It was a sauntering and sipping and dancing and ducking cat, wandering through the city streets just like a kid, roaming and poking around. December 19th. I read Black Cat to my mother, tapping my fingers in the rhythm like you showed us. Hard, soft, slow, and then faster. She drew a circle with her finger, which means again, so I read it over, tapping. And then she put her hand up, stop, and I watched while she tapped the same rhythm as she turned the pages. Hard, soft, slow, and then faster. And then she closed the book and tapped her heart. Hard, soft, slower, then faster. December 20th. When you put up that one line from the Eagle poem, he clasps the crag with crooked hands, and used all those different colored chalks to show how Mr. Tennyson managed to cram in alliteration and assonance and consonants all in one line. Well, I was impressed, but that doesn't mean I remember which is which, and I will never be able to do all that stuff that Mr. Tennyson does. And did he know he was doing it when he did it? I feel stupid. I'm a bad writer. I'm going to quit. December 21st. Thank you for telling me I could forget those confusing words and that it isn't knowing the words that describe writing that is important. It is the thoughts in our heads that are most important, and that feeling the rhythm is even more wondrous than hearing the rhythm. And thank you for saying I am a genius, even though I know you are exaggerating. January 3rd. The Gift, inspired by William Carlos Williams, by Jack. So much depends upon a black kitten in a straw basket under the Christmas tree. January 4th. My parents woke me up so early and seemed in a hurry to rush me downstairs to the Christmas tree blinking and the fire crackling, and I didn't see it right away, that little straw basket tucked to one side. I was on the floor, pawing through the packages, when something moved, and I thought maybe it was a mouse that had crept inside, and I jumped back. Not that I'm afraid of a mouse, but it wouldn't be my favorite thing to encounter in a pile of presents. And then I saw a blur of black fur, and I thought, oh no, it's the fat black cat. But then, a pink nose, tiny black paws, and blinking sleepy eyes. A small black fur ball, not a big fat fur ball. A kitten, stumbling out of the basket and wobbling over to me and crawling up on my lap and licking my pajamas, and I forgot that I hate cats as it crawled up onto my chest and purred. And I was smiling all over the place. January 8th. So Much, inspired by Mr. William Carlos Williams, by Jack. So much depends upon a black kitten dotted with white beside the photo of my yellow dog. January 10th. My blank is like a blank. I couldn't think of a simile. Brain broken. Can't even think of a name for that bouncing black kitten. That's how broken my brain is. I call her Kitty and Mushy and Wiggles and Flopper, but I don't have a real name for her yet. Don't tell anyone those goofy names I use, okay? They are embarrassing. January 14th. The Naming of Cats by Mr. T.S. Eliot made me laugh. Monkstrap? Bombalurina? Jelly Rum? That Mr. T.S. Eliot, is he alive? Must like cats. And do you think it is true that cats have their own secret names that only they know? Their ineffable, effable names? Okay, I will unfreeze my brain now and write you a simile, but I am warning you, it might not be too good. The chair in my room is like a pleasingly plump mama. January 17th. Go on? Tell why that chair is like a pleasingly plump mama? The chair in my room is like a pleasingly plump mama, big and squishy, with stuffing poking out. It is over there in the corner, sitting quietly, silently, waiting for me to come and jump in her lap and bring a book or two or a blanket when I'm sick. That plump mama chair just sits there, waiting for me. And while she waits, she looks a little lonely, to tell you the truth. She used to have a dog to jump into her lap when I wasn't home. But all that is left of my good yellow dog are pieces of his fur, stuck here and there. And now there is a kitten, but the kitten doesn't like the yellow chair half as much as she likes my pillow. January 24th. After tremendous tugging at my broken brain, I finally dug up a metaphor. It's about the kitten, who now has a name, Skitter McKitter, because that's what she does. Skitter here, skitter there, skitter everywhere. Ready for the metaphor? The black kitten. The black kitten is a poet, leaping from line to line, sometimes running rapidly, sometimes soothing slowly here and there, up and down, down and up, in a silent, steady rhythm, exploring all the tiny pieces of the world. January 31st. Well, no, don't put it on the board, because now that I read it again, it doesn't make sense. I know what I was trying to say, but I didn't get it right. The kitten is a poet, but it's something I feel, but I can't get it into the words. A good poet would be able to paint with words, things that you can feel but don't know how to say. It's sort of like when my mother puts one hand on my back and one hand on my chest to hear me laughing or to feel me laughing, because then she understands what my laughing sounds like and feels like. She can see me laugh, and she can sign the word for laugh, but she cannot hear the laugh. Yesterday she put one hand on Skitter's back and one hand on her stomach so she could hear the purr. I cannot explain a purr, just like I cannot explain why the kitten is a poet, but she is. And I cannot explain how my mother paints words with her hands, but she does. And I cannot explain how, when we paint words with each other, I hear sounds, but I do not know if she hears anything. Any strange or amazing or good or terrible or sparkling or fizzing sound at all. February 7th. So much depends upon hands waving in the air, making words without sounds. February 11th. My Yellow Chair by Jack. Low chair, yellow chair, yellow chair, yellow chair, chair, yellow chair, yellow chair, yellow squishy soft, squishy soft, squishy soft, squish, squishy soft, little hole, squishy soft, squishy squishy soft, little hole, squishy soft, squishy rounded, squishy squish, squish, silent, rounded, arm, squishy soft, squishy arm, squishy soft, black fur, squishy soft, arm, squishy soft, yellow fur, squishy arm, seat, squishy black fur, arm, seat, squishy seat, arm, squishy seat, yellow fur, squishy seat, silent, leg, leg. February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day! I like when you said we could try turning the metaphors upside down or inside out, and I liked when you used my chair poem as an example. So instead of saying the chair is like a pleasingly plump mama, we could try my mama is like a pleasingly plump chair. Except that now everyone thinks my mom is very plump and looks like a chair, and it doesn't mean the same when you turn them around, because while the chair is a lot like a plump mama, my own mother is like so much more than a chair. February 21st. Well, okay, I will try it. Here goes. My mother is like a plump chair, all squishy, soft, and huggy when you sit in her lap. Just so you know, I am too old to sit in her lap. I'm just saying this for the poem. Her arms hold you in so you won't fall, and you will feel safe. And she has sturdy legs, although I want to make it clear that my real mother has 2 legs, not 4, and a straight back. She is proud, but not too proud. And she is there, waiting for me, always quietly waiting for me. End of poem. So here's the problem. My real mother can't always be waiting for me because she works at night, and my mother doesn't sit in the same place day in and day out like a chair does. She is always moving, 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 her hands waving in the air, talking to us with those hands. And she isn't plump at all. And like I said, she has 2 legs, not 4, and so really, she is not very much like a chair, at all. I will never be a real poet. February 25th. Today, the fat black cat up in the tree by the bus stop dropped a nut on my head. Thunk. And when I yelled at it, the fat black cat said, meow, meow, in a nasty, spiteful way. I hate that cat. February 28th. I am getting a little worried about poor Mr. William Carlos Williams. Is he alive? I mean, first there was the poem about the red wheelbarrow and the chicky chickens, and it's true, I like that poem now. It grows on you. But those 2 poems about the plums? I think Caitlin was crying because she felt stupid, and to tell you the truth, I felt stupid too, because even though those were nice little thingies that Mr. William Carlos said about the sweet plums and the old lady, and even though I could see little pictures in my head when you were reading the plum poems, it would be very, very hard to explain to my Uncle Bill why those are poems and not little notes scribbled on scrap paper. And did you notice that Mr. William Carlos Williams does not use much in the way of alliteration or onomatopoeia or simile or metaphor? Did you notice that? March 6th. This morning, I left a note for my mother. This is just to say, I have eaten the pudding that was in the fridge and which you were maybe saving for dessert. Forgive me. It was so yum, so thick, so creamy. March 7th. Those non-poems of Cuckoo Mr. Williams Carlos Williams are running in my head. Mom in the Kitchen, inspired by Mr. William Carlos Williams by Jack. Crunching on a pickle, in the middle of the room, juice running down her arm. It tastes good to her. It tastes good to her. It tastes good to her. You can tell by the way she closes her eyes and licks her lips and then her arm. Refreshed, a song of dill pickles filling the air. It tastes good to her. March 13th. You know what? Today in the library I found some more poems by Mr. Williams Carlos Williams. And do you know what he wrote? A poem about a cat. A cat. The title is Poem. Is Mr. William Carlos Williams a little lazy? And it is only about a cat climbing over a jam closet. What is a jam closet? And into a flower pot. That is it. That is the poem. But as soon as I read it, I saw in my head Skitter McKitter, my black kitten. So here is a non-poem about her. Non-poem, inspired by lazy Mr. Williams Carlos Williams by Jack. As the kitten leaped over the pot of blue violets, first the front paws gracefully, then the hind paws landing into the bottom of the kitchen sink. March 14th. Another non-poem inspired by Mr. William Carlos Williams by Jack. The fat black cat crouched on a limb of the maple tree, needle claws scratching the bark menacingly, then the tail whacking at the branch in warning. March 21st. Just as I expected, my Uncle Bill is not a big fan of Mr. William Carlos Williams. Uncle Bill says Mr. WCW is a minor poet and a FOE poet. Later, my dad explained he meant faux, which means fake, and I said, what about the So Much Depends Upon poem and the plum poems, which are stuck in my head, and I can say them from memory. And Uncle Bill said, "Tuh, overrated, highly overrated," and I found myself sticking up for poor Mr. William Carlos Williams and the small ordinary things he writes about, and the small ordinary moments that you don't notice until you read his poems. And Uncle Bill said, "Small things, small moments, ta! Give me large things, large moments. Give me poems about death and dying, about war and tragedy, and philosophical metaphors. Give me sonnets, give me odes," blah, blah, blah. The only interesting thing he said while he was visiting was that he's allergic to cats, and he sneezed a lot just to prove it. And he made us lock Skitter McKitter in my room, and when he left, my dad said 2 things. First, "Sometimes I envy your mom not being able to hear." And second, if Uncle Bill is allergic to cats, maybe he won't be able to visit us anymore. March 26th. This is just to say that Skitter McKitter has run away. And maybe Uncle Bill would say this is not a tragedy, but in our house it is a tragedy. March 27th. How can you go from hating cats to loving one cat in particular? One black cat. One Skitter McKitter cat who chases a brown nut across the wood floor, and who trails balls of string over chairs and under tables, and who falls over backwards when he is swatting at a plant, and who leaps in your lap and purrs, and who sleeps on your pillow curled behind your head with one paw on your ear, and who crawls under the covers to nip at your toes. How can you love a little cat so much in such a short time? March 28th. Last night my mother signed the word C-A-T and then tapped her heart. Hard soft, hard soft, hard soft, hard soft. March 31st. Still no Skitter McKitter. We think she got out when the plumber left the door open. I keep thinking about Mr. Christopher Myers' roaming cat, and the person in the poem story who says over and over, "Where's your home? Where did you go?" There is a big emptiness in our home, just like there was when my dog Sky died. We've looked everywhere. We've called Skitter's name, we've put out bowls of milk, but the only cat who slurps the milk is that other black cat, that mean, fat black cat that scratched me. I saw it creeping away from the milk bowl, licking its chin, lazy, waddling cat flicking its proud tail. I hate that cat. And more bad news. Yesterday I received a postcard from Mr. Walter Dean Myers, and on it said that his cat died. He said his cat was old and had lived a good long life, but that he misses his cat. I know what he means. Keep your doors closed so your cats don't get out, and if you have any old cats, take good care of them. April 2nd. Skitter McKitter, here is your home. Why did you go? April 11th. So much depends upon a black kitten mewing outside your back door. Yes, Skitter McKitter is back. I heard scratching and then howling, but it didn't sound like Skitter. When I opened the door, there was the fat black cat making a ruckus, and then I heard a softer mewing, kitten mewing, Skitter mewing, and lying there beside the door was Skitter McKitter, looking thin and bedraggled, with a gash on one ear and a clump of fur missing from her neck. And when I went to reach for Skitter, the fat black cat put a paw out protectively and licked Skitter's ear, and then nudged Skitter up and into my hands. And then the fat black cat sat there very still, silent, as I carried Skitter inside. I left the door open in case the fat black cat wanted to come inside too, but instead the fat black cat turned and walked away, whisking its fat black tail. Whisk, whisk. I think the fat black cat found Skitter McKitter and saved her and brought her home. I'm sorry I hated that cat. When I held Skitter in my lap and petted her, she licked my hand. She licked it and licked it. It tasted good to her. It tasted good to her. It tasted good to her. April 18th. The Kitten, inspired by Mr. Alfred Lord Tennyson, by Jack. She pats the package with padded paws and pulls apart the golden gauze with her tiny furry jaws. Then like an acrobat she leaps, legs and ribbon in a heap, tangled round and tangled deep. April 25th. The Purr, inspired by Mr. Edgar Allan Poe and my new thesaurus, by Jack. Hear the kitten with her purr, humming purr, what a contagious contentment in her vibration spur, how she hums, keeping time, in a sort of thrumming rhyme to the murmuration of the thrums and the hums of her purr, or the humming and the thrumming of her purr. May 2nd. Thank you for showing me all the books of cat poems and all the books that tell a story in poems. I never knew a writer could do that, tell a whole story in poems. I already read the one by Mr. Robert Cormier, alive, and next by my bed is the Dust Book by Mrs. Karen Hess, alive, and underneath that one is the Essie and Amber one by Miss Vera B. Williams, alive. And on my bulletin board is a list that you gave me of so many poets whose books I can read. And also on my bulletin board is the funny poem picture of the cat chair by Mr. Chris Roshka, alive. And that poem by Mr. Lee Bennett Hopkins, alive, about growing up to be a writer. I now have a treasure of words in my room. May 5th. Silent Sounds of Mom, inspired by Mr. Edgar Allan Poe, by Jack. See her hands in the air, waving here, waving there. What flickering formations these compositions dare. How she sings in a swish and a bound, bringing sound to the silence of the air, and the silent tubulation of the hush and the hums of the air, and the humming and the hushing of the air. May 9th. Poets' Day. It was grandalicious finding pictures of so many poets and putting them on the wall in our classroom, all those poets looking back at us, and beside them some of their poems, so many words and images in our heads, and although I wish they were all alive, and that Dwayne hadn't written dead next to the dead ones, their words are still there, waiting for someone to read them. Those ineffable, effable words, thrumming like the purring in our heads. May 16th. Love That Cat, inspired by Mr. Walter Dean Myers, by Jack. Love that cat, like a bird loves to twitter. I said I love that cat, like a bird loves to twitter. Love to call her in the morning, love to call her, hey there, Skitter McKitter. May 19th. The fat black cat has been coming to our back door. More? She says as if asking a question. I pour milk in the bowl and the fat cat slurps, and then sits back staring at me, her tail slapping slowly on the ground. Shisk, shisk. More? Skitter skitters up and leaps forward, her front paws occasionally landing in the bowl, and the fat black cat licks the top of Skitter's head, and then turns and saunters away, apparently satisfied. May 23rd. Thank you for saying more nice things about me to my parents last night when we read our poems at school. My mother doesn't usually come to these things because she can't hear what's going on, but when you said I could sign for her, this is what she signed to me. I love that Miss Stretchberry. And although I was embarrassed to stand in front of everyone and sign all those words for my mother, too many eyes on me, and it was very hard to keep up with everyone speaking so fast, when I saw my mother's face, it felt good to me. It felt good to me. It felt good to me. June 5th. This is just to say, I will listen for you. I will hear all the sounds in the world, all the delicious, ineffable, effable sounds, all the thrumming and humming and tintinnabulating sounds. I will hear all the sounds in the world, and I will write them down so you can hear them too.